we'll just get started. The first question is, who are you and what do you do? Introduce yourself and your creative career.
I am Merlyn Holmes, and I am the founder and vision keeper for Creativity Alive. Creativity Alive is a multidisciplinary arts-based organization based in Boulder, Colorado, whose mission is to inspire creativity and build community.
Wonderful. That is absolutely beautiful. And how has COVID-19 affected your life and livelihood?
COVID-19, initially it completely derailed everything we were doing. We're as a local community-based organization that was designed to bring people together in fairly intimate ways. It completely derailed everything we were doing. So we canceled all of our events, workshops, classes, performances at every level, from little 10-person classes to 150-person. We were going to be hosting the first Gun Barrel Arts Festival this spring. Completely, it's not happening this year, hopefully next year. So we canceled everything, and so that took out my livelihood as well as my body of work. It was a pretty major shift. Initially, anyways, for a pretty significant period of time, this particular grant was really instrumental in serving as that little reminder, that little nudge, that little wake-up call of hello, both to us artists, as in we need you, and also that reminder of our community needs us too. So it was a very helpful little reminder that's like, okay, what can we do to actually continue this body of work and continue this mission of inspiring creativity and building community within this new realm. So we've some of the silver linings of this, which were a little slow to surface, but were very real, is for me as a dancer in particular, it's in my primary art form of discovering, so what is this new dance? After we hosted, straight off the bat, we hosted a Let's Meet at a distance of 6 feet event instead of our monthly singing circle, which we still can't do because of the risks of singing. But after that initial meeting, I wrote this little haiku, 6 feet between us, miles above and below, we dance in new forms. And I'm still exploring that question of what is this new form, of how when I move outside into the public realm, into nature, which has been an incredible solace and an incredible challenge in its own ways, of what is the dance that can come, and just, for me individually, and then what are the forms that can come for this body of work, of how can we still bring people together to inspire creativity and build community. So.
That is wonderful. I'm sorry to hear about all of the cancellations. Hopefully those can be fully fleshed out next year. But yeah, it's been really inspiring for me to interview all of the grant recipients and hear about all of the silver linings that people are finding and creating. So yeah, really happy to hear that. So you've obviously been awarded a COVID-19 work project stipend. Would you mind just briefly telling me about your project and how it can promote connectivity in your neighborhood?
Yes, I would. May I go back and add in one more silver lining, though?
Oh,
this is
certainly.
really important to me.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. And the larger silver lining in all of this, as I've told my 13-year-old son, who is now upstairs doing online schooling, as many people are experiencing, is if we can find the ways during this pandemic to live lives that are deeply meaningful and satisfying and joyful, then we will have a skill set that to last a lifetime, and collectively a skill set to affect real transformation and evolution, so social evolution. And so when we set our sights on that with this body of work, that it makes it much clearer of, okay, how can we do this? How can we develop that skill set that will really serve us well through all of it?
Amazing. Yeah. So then if we want to just move on to your project and how it can promote connectivity. Yeah. That'd be great.
With the COVID-19 work project, that initial boost was to be able to take what was going to be a really multidisciplinary project, but that had a body of art, visual art component, and a particular body of it that had been created and was being created by a group of students from Boulder High School who were graduating seniors, and so who were right in the middle of this trauma of the pandemic. But this grant allowed us to not just pivot to put everything online as everybody was doing at that time, and that was the only way we could see to get that artwork out there. And the artwork is, the title of it is 2020 Vision, New Eyes. So it was so appropriate. So suddenly this work was even more important than, here we are in a new world. And we changed the title to become 2020 Vision, New Eyes, New World, so that the artwork could feed right into exactly what we were experiencing as this pandemic unfolded. And the work project monies gave us the ability to print up the artwork and distribute it around town. So we had, we put artwork of different sizes in all of the little libraries in North Boulder. I think there were 18 or 20 little libraries, with links to the Instagram account that we had created for that online piece. But we were able to help these students get that artwork out into the world, into the hands of their neighbors, into the homes of their neighbors, for anyone in the community to look at it in their little libraries and be surprised. And you've seen some of the artwork. There are all kinds of different eyes and vision and ways of seeing the world that they were able to then share in this way, instead of inviting people into an art dance that we were going to hold initially to launch this whole series. We were able to send that artwork out into the world. So that was hugely, hugely important. And then it also provided for all of our neighbors that surprise, the aha moment of opening up their little library and finding artwork, and artwork that was about these times and the new ways of embracing it, and the new ways of looking at individuals as they're in their masks and you only see their eyes. So I hope that it continues to ripple through as people continue to discover and rediscover these little pieces of artwork that are spread all over town, and to remember, it's like, oh yeah, 2020 vision, how do we define that? That's not just seeing whatever the average is at a distance of 20 feet. It really is looking through this lens of the year 2020. How do we connect one individual to another and really see them in new ways? So.
That is beautiful. What a lovely project.
Thank you.
That is amazing. Wow. Very inspiring. So finally, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yes, I would like to share two things, actually. One, I'd like to share kind of the domino effect of having this little kick in the butt by this grant. So it's like, okay, continue this body of work one way or another. Here, we're going to give you a little funding to get started. And so we have been really beautifully and really successfully finding the ways to host outdoor events that bring music and dance and art and connection with other individuals back into our lives, to provide that nourishment that we need so deeply, both now and also to store it, really, to store it for the winter time when it's not going to be so easy to get outside necessarily. Although we are committed, we are going to work with weather as a wardrobe challenge. And I'm already talking to the musicians about, okay, which instruments can we use in the cold, which ones in the rain, which ones in the snow? How can we continue to offer these things? So we have this series of music in the park, art in the park, dance in the park that we're doing every week right now, and sometimes more than once a week. So I definitely want to share that and invite people to come. That information will be on creativityalive.org. And the newsletter is our very best way of keeping people in the loop and up to date with all the last minute changes that may need to happen because of weather or smoke haze or virus changes. And also allows us to offer those really spontaneous invitations of the weather is gorgeous today. We're going to have 70-degree weather in the middle of a winter with snowstorms. And so let's do something now. So definitely signing up to our newsletter will be the best way to stay in the loop throughout this pandemic. And then the other thing that's come through this is one-on-one individual work to really help cultivate creativity in individuals who are seeking to deepen into that as a way of navigating these times. So that's work that I'm offering on a one-on-one basis or small group, and some in person as weather and outdoor conditions permit, or online, so that all of us can just continue to support each other through this pandemic and out the other end into a better place.
Amazing.
Mhm.
It's I'm just like speechless. I'm so excited to hear about all of these opportunities.
Yeah.